15 years ago, the Columbine massacre took place. Right off the bat, we started talking about our part. We discovered that they were the trenchcoat mafia. There were reports of bullying of the trenchcoat mafia. And then later on, it moved a little more in the direction of maybe it was the music, maybe it was Marilyn Manson's music. A few years later, the FBI produced a report saying that it was really one bad seed who was misleading a lost soul, and they put forth the genetic explanation. About a year and a half ago, Adam Lanza tore into Sandy Hook and killed 20 children, 6 staff, after having killed his mother and before killing himself. And they said it was the guns. Less than 3 weeks ago, Elliot Rodger went on a rampage around University of California at Santa Barbara, and some said it was his misogyny that made him do it, and others said it was the movies. Just yesterday, Jared Michael Padgett went on a shooting rampage in a high school in Oregon. And again, we're speculating like experts that the problem is guns. Everybody's asking the wrong questions and acting like authorities, but nobody really understands how could they do that.
We're the only developed country on earth where this happens. And it happens now once a week. And it's a one-day story. There's no place else like this. The United States does not have a monopoly on crazy people.
Actually, the truth is that we do have a monopoly on crazy people. There is no country in the world that has their babies in daycare with alternative caregivers like we do. Never in the history of humankind have we been farming out our infants who were evolved through evolution to be cared for by a mommy in the first 3 years of life.
We kill each other in these mass shootings at rates that are exponentially higher than any place else. Well, what's the difference? The difference is that these guys can stack up a bunch of ammunition in their houses, and that's sort of par for the course.
It's not about ammunition or guns or misogyny or music or movies or genes. The difference is how we're raising kids in the United States. Why is it so hard to believe that the way we raise our children is impacting how they turn out? So let's talk about Jared. We've only known about him for a day, and we already have some clues about what he was like. Some come from the crime, but mostly from family and friends. He was a 15-year-old kid. He's been described as quiet, that he liked to keep things very well organized, that he was detail-oriented, and he liked facts. He so liked his facts that he could barely handle anyone disagreeing with them. He recently gave a presentation at school on the Holocaust, and some of the students started to disagree with him. And the story goes that he was very upset and that he held on to his facts with kind of a rigid commitment. His story on the Holocaust seemed to lack empathy. So already we're getting a sense of he has a rather mechanical approach to relationships, to reality, to right and wrong. And we're already getting a sense that maybe there's some Asperger's in there. He had a fascination with guns, and he belonged to the ROTC, and there was lots of guns and ammo in his home. He hunted for and killed rabbits. We also have heard that he had a temper. It appears that Jared was from a large family, which means that he might have had to compete for attention. We don't know. Maybe he had an older sibling that was only a year older, and so there was some competition in the first years of his life for mommy's attention. We also know that it was a religious family and a military family, and the combination of religion and military could lead to a repression ethic or a controlling family, controlling discipline, standards that would emphasize behaviors and beliefs over communication, understanding, empathy, relating, and social skills. So we can begin to speculate already that the attachment in the first years of his life was poor, and that his parents may not have engaged with him one-on-one to discuss his feelings and his worldview and how he was experiencing people disagreeing with him, how he took it so personally, how he took his facts so concretely. We don't know if maybe they encouraged him to take his facts so concretely, or if that was unique to Jared. We don't know if his mom worked, or we don't know how emotionally available she was. We need more information. As the information comes in, it's going to either disprove the hypothesis or augment the hypothesis that he was underbonded, that his family had a bit of a control ethic, a bit of a repression ethic, and then as he became criticized in the recent presentation, that maybe it was unbearable for him. It sounds like he had a fragile core that couldn't handle being criticized. And isn't that sort of a common theme by now? It's not genetic, it's childhood. We need to engage and relate to our children to give them a sense of their own worth and self, so that when they are bullied or teased or ridiculed or even disagreed with or not chosen, that they don't feel annihilated.